Welcome to The Explainer. So, you earn money, you spend money. But if you're like most people, you probably look at personal finance as this impossibly confusing, kind of boring game that only adults with briefcases really understand. Well, what if I told you that finance is actually just a video game? And right now, while you're still in high school, you have this incredible chance to learn the mechanics, grab the absolute best loot, and master the cheat codes before you even walk across that graduation stage. Today, we're going to level up your money.
Because let's be totally honest with ourselves here. Do you actually understand your money? Listen, you'd be absolutely shocked to learn that most adults go through their entire lives without knowing how taxes actually work, or why prices constantly go up, what banks are doing with their cash, or how a totally random number on a screen can dictate whether or not they can buy a house. But we're going to fix all of that in this explainer today and give you the ultimate head start.
Okay, here is our roadmap. These are the 5 levels we're going to beat today. Level 1 is your money basics. Level 2 is mastering interest and credit. Level 3 is the invisible money forces. Level 4 is how to build wealth. And finally, Level 5 is the ultimate cheat code.
Let's dive right into Level 1, your money basics.
We're going to start with something nobody likes, but literally everyone pays: taxes. So when you get that very first paycheck from a part-time job, you're going to notice a chunk of your money is just missing, right? That's income tax, and it funds stuff we all use, like roads, schools, hospitals. But here's the secret most people don't get. You aren't taxed a flat rate on everything. The US uses a progressive tax system. Basically, it means your taxes are taken in chunks, or brackets, based on what you earn. So if you make $50,000 a year, you don't pay 22% on all of it. You pay 10% on the first chunk, then 12% on the next chunk, and so on. Understanding this right now is going to help you legally minimize what you owe later in life.
Now, it's actually absolutely fascinating how banks operate. You probably know the basics, right? You've got a checking account for everyday spending and a savings account that earns a tiny bit of interest. But banks aren't just giant Scrooge McDuck vaults holding your cash. When you deposit money, they use a system called fractional reserve lending. Basically, they only keep a fraction of your money on hand, and they lend the rest of it out to other people to buy cars or homes, and they charge those people interest. That is literally how banks make a profit off the money you deposit.
But hey, don't worry, your money isn't at risk. In the US, your deposits are protected by FDIC insurance up to $250,000. So even if the bank completely collapses, your money is absolutely safe. Think of it as your ultimate safety net in the financial game.
Moving right along to Level 2, mastering interest and credit. This level is essentially the reputation system of the adult world, and it dictates the cost of borrowing money. Now, interest is exactly that. It's the cost of borrowing. But when you are the one investing, you unlock compound interest. This is earning interest on your interest. Check this out. $1,000 invested at a 7% return grows to over $7,600 in 30 years. You did literally nothing. Time did all the heavy lifting. It's been called the 8th wonder of the world when it works for you. But, and this is a big but, it becomes a devastating trap if it works against you. Like, say, when you're stuck paying 20% interest on credit card debt. The rule of the game here? Earn compound interest, do not pay it.
And that brings us perfectly to your credit score. Think of this 3-digit number, which ranges from 300 to 850, as your adult GPA. Lenders use it to see just how trustworthy you are. Look at this breakdown. Notice that the 2 absolutely biggest slices of the pie you need to focus on right now are payment history at 35%, which literally just means paying your bills on time, and credit utilization at 30%, which means not maxing out your available credit. Keep that utilization below 30% always.
Now, the difference between these scores perfectly demonstrates why building your credit early is such a massive deal. If you have an excellent score, like an 800, you might get a 6% interest rate on a home loan. But if your score is a poor 580, you might get an 8% rate. On a $300,000 house, that tiny, seemingly insignificant 2% difference will cost you over $140,000 extra over the life of the loan. No way, right? But it's true. A good reputation literally pays off.
Okay, Level 3, the invisible money forces.
Have you ever wondered why everything just keeps getting more and more expensive? That, my friends, is inflation. It is the gradual increase in prices over time. Think about this for a second. Back in 1990, $50 could buy you a completely full grocery cart. Today, That exact same cart costs $150. The physical money didn't change, but its purchasing power totally decreased. So the crucial takeaway here is this: keeping all your savings in plain cash, stuffed under your mattress, is a guaranteed losing strategy because inflation is constantly eating away at its value. You have to invest it.
Now, you'll also hear the scary word recession thrown around in the news a lot. A recession is simply when the economy shrinks for a few months. Businesses make a little less, spending drops. But if we map this out historically, from the Great Depression in 1929 to the 2008 financial crisis, all the way to the 2020 COVID recession, it shows that the economy always moves in these cycles of expansion and contraction. A recession is a totally predictable historical event. It's not the end of the world.
Surviving them is all about preparation over panic. The smart players in the financial game always keep a 3 to 6 month emergency fund safely in savings. They never panic sell their investments because the market historically always recovers. In fact, the really wealthy investors actually use these economic dips to buy high-quality assets at a massive discount. It's like a financial Black Friday.
And the final invisible force here is currency. Currencies fluctuate in value constantly on the foreign exchange market, which trades over $7 trillion a day. Now, the key thing to know here is that the US dollar is the world's reserve currency. The vast majority of international trade is priced in dollars, and that gives the US enormous global economic power. When the dollar is strong, your purchasing power when you travel abroad goes way up.
All right, level 4, how to build wealth.
This is the fun part. This is how you actively play the game to win by putting your money to work for you. And listen, investing does not require a suit and tie on Wall Street anymore. You can start right now on your phone with just $10 using basic investing apps. Financial experts generally recommend beginners look into index funds like the S&P 500, which basically lets you buy a tiny slice of hundreds of the top companies all at once, averaging about a 10% annual return historically. Just remember the 2 golden rules of investing. First, start early, because time in the market always beats trying to time the market. Second, diversify. Spread your risk out so you never have all your eggs in one basket.
But building wealth isn't just about making money. It's about not wasting it. Warren Buffett, who is arguably one of the most successful investors to ever live, famously said, "Price is what you pay. Value is what you get."
Marketers are so good at using luxury branding, limited time offers, and hype to make you think a high price automatically equals high value. Don't fall for it just to impress people in the hallway at school. Always, always ask yourself, is this price actually worth the value I'm getting out of it? Understanding that simple difference is a lifelong habit that will literally save you thousands of dollars every single year.
And finally, level 5, the ultimate cheat code.
This final secret is literally the most powerful cheat code in the entire financial game, and honestly, it completely defies logic until you see the math. Okay, so person A starts investing $200 a month at age 22, and then they completely stop at age 32. They only invested for 10 years. Person B starts at age 32 and invests $200 every single month for 30 years until age 62. Yet, at retirement, person A ends up with significantly more money. Wait, what?
That massive, shocking gap comes down to just one number, 10. A 10-year head start. Because person A started earlier, compound interest just had way more time to work its magic. In finance, time doesn't care how smart you are, it doesn't care how much you earn, it only cares when you start. Every single year you delay is exponentially more expensive than the year before.
You guys have the one resource that billionaires literally cannot buy: youth. Time is completely on your side right now. So my question to you is, what are you going to do with the time you have left today? You know the rules of the game now. The absolute best time to start was yesterday, but the second best time is today. Get out there and start building your foundation. And hey, if you're ready to take that first step, stick around because in our next explainer, we are going to show you exactly how to start investing from absolute zero. I'll see you there.